Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be reacting to could Batman stop the Squid Game operation? Now, I previously recorded this video. Unfortunately, the audio was not there. So, hopefully, this works out really well. But, anyways, let's get right into the video.
영웅놀이는 재밌어 너.
You're a killer, a psychopath. I will stop you.
What if Batman was in the Squid Game universe and investigated the frontman and his whole Squid Game operation? What would happen? So, Squid Game Season 2 recently came out at the time of this video. This video will spoil Season 1 and 2 of Squid Game, so you are warned right now that I'm going to spoil the show. So, I thought this would be a really great video idea. How would Batman go about taking out the Squid Game operation? So, just a quick synopsis if you don't know what Squid Game is and don't care to watch it. It's a really popular Netflix show. So, this show has this guy who wears a suit and black mask who's named the Front Man.
Yep.
He has an army of these pink jumpsuit soldiers, and they all reside in some secret island. They lure people around the South Korea area who are in crippling debt and take them to this island where they compete in games. The frontman and his army tell the contestants here that the more games they win, they get a huge money prize. What they don't tell these contestants is that if they lose the games, they die. They shoot them. The show revolves around the main character whose name is Gi-hun, who tries to stop these games because they are cruel, and he witnessed all the trauma of watching his friends and all these other people die while he won the games in season 1.
True. That
We
is very
watch
true.
the show from his point of view as he tries to take down the Squid Game operations in season 2. But what if Batman was thrown into the mix? Could Batman stop the Squid Game operation and the front
Probably.
man once and for all? Let's go ahead and start the video topic. What if Batman was in the Squid Game universe? Subscribe or I'll delete my channel.
Oh,
Okay, so yeah, the question, could
guys,
Batman stop the Squid Game operation?
already subscribed. He's going to delete his channel.
Yes. Yes, he would. I mean, just realistically and logically thinking about it, if there were to be a story about Batman going against the Squid Game operation, the story would have Batman just win, logically speaking, right? I mean, that's how hero stories do things. But the process here is what's really interesting, and it's the process here that I want to talk about and how difficult it would be for Batman. Because the front man is shown to be, I think, just as, if not more cunning than some of the villains that gives Batman trouble back in Gotham City.
True.
Frontman is shown to be extremely cunning, sneaky, dangerous. He has spies all around South Korea and wherever. He knows when someone is trying to get to him. A good example of this is how in season 2, where Gi-hun is planning to kill the frontman, but the frontman knew this the entire time, and he had a sniper in the city take out the vehicles with the guys Gi-hun hired to protect himself. And the reason he knows about things like this is how much influence the frontman has in the city. In season 2, there's a man at the docks that's been taking one of the supporting characters out to help them find the island on ships where the Squid Games are held. But it turns out that he is most likely an employee of the frontman since he's shown to sabotage the operation. The frontman has eyes and ears everywhere. He's dangerous. The games themselves are so meticulously crafted as well. He's just scary. His identity is concealed. His power and army behind him is something that I think would give Batman some trouble. The dude's a straight up supervillain. It's pretty crazy when you think about it. Now, let's just set up the premise. What if Batman was somehow in the South Korea area and was aware of all these people dying, never to be seen again? So maybe this starts off with Batman hearing about the reports from the characters about the Squid Games and how they play life and death games there. The
True.
police in the show don't believe these people that were part of the Squid Games, but Batman would. Batman would investigate and slowly take down the Squid Game operation. And yeah, I think the story would be like, I don't think Bruce would ever actually enter the games to take it down that way because one, he has no reason to. Two, they would never contact Bruce anyway since he's rich. And three, it's much easier for him to be Batman and take them down from the inside like that. So let's just set up the scenario and how
But
I would
why,
think
though?
Batman would close in on the front man and his pink jumpsuit army and take
Because,
down the
like,
Squid Games.
you got to kind of
Like,
think.
honestly,
hold
the
on,
scenario
hold on,
could be
hold on,
anything, right? This is
hold
just
on.
my
thing is, if he can't enter as Bruce Wayne because he's too rich, which he already explained that point. But if he, let's just say, he pretended to be someone else, made a whole fake thing, and was a fake person, and he was but when you think the guy would have looked into that though, right? Possibly.
hypothetical. Did I use that
Because he
right?
looks into all of
Anyway,
his contestants,
Batman
see if they're
somehow is
rich or
aware
poor.
of what's going on in South Korea about these people being abducted and vanishing. Batman visits and investigates what's going on. I'd say that he probably investigate the cop character in the show first, who's been telling the police about the Squid Game operations as
Yeah.
well as the other reports of people saying the same thing, but the police just never believe them. Because remember, in season 1, the Squid Game contestants got to leave after a vote. Maybe outside of Gihan, there's other survivors out there Batman can find as well to learn more and ask, questions from them. But anyways, he would gather information from those people. He probably would visit them as Batman and ask them about everything they know, so they would tell him. They would probably tell him about the layout and games they played, but what I think would be most important are the pink jumpsuit guys. As we see in season
Why?
2 of Squid Game, the pink jumpsuit dudes do roam around the city when the time of the games are nearing.
Okay.
On top of that, Bama would also likely find out about the recruiter, the guy that makes them play this flipping game. Now, in this whole process, could the frontman possibly find out about Batman's investigation and prepare? I think so. I think it's entirely possible. The frontman knew about Gihan's antics, and he's written to be extremely prepared in covering his tracks. He has spies everywhere, like I said, and he's prepared at all times. Batman asking around too much could be dangerous, but I think Batman would be careful about it. I think Batman gathering intel is like Batman one-on-one, right? I think he'd be smart on going about it to not arouse suspicion. We also find out from Squid Game Season 2 that the guards in the pink jumpsuits are actually just desperate people that turn to being a guard because they have nowhere else to turn. Like the female guard we follow in Season 2. She's like living in her car. She just got out of North Korea. Squid Game job gives them security and a place to stay in a
She just
way. And we
died,
find out
bro.
in Season 2 that there's a ton of soldiers, like a lot of them. And they're all armed, organized, and have the advantage of knowing their terrain like the back of their hand.
Well,
If
yeah.
Batman wants to fight these
They
guys,
work there.
he has to kind of know that there's a ton of armed soldiers in there. The frontman and his traps and schemes are also a thing he has to worry about, and a whole island filled with mechanical doohickeys and whatnot. He has to watch out for all of that. And also, if even one of those guys go missing, the frontman will notice. So because of that, I think Batman will watch these jumpsuit guys from afar at first, and after gathering all the information he needs, he'll follow them to the island. Batman is a master of stealth. He can easily follow these guys with his bat boat, his bat wing with stealth mode, even just jumping aboard whatever ship they
Stealth
use or
mode with the boat.
transportation and just hiding there.
Where they
I think
see
as
him
far as
following him.
information goes that I think Batman could get, it all honestly depends on the timing. Let's say Batman investigates after season 1. Then
Right.
Batman can track down Gihan, and Gihan knows a lot more information than the typical Squid Game contestant would. I think in a general sense, Batman would know that there's the frontman, the jumpsuit army, a huge base where the games are played with a very unique layout, like this playground area with stairs, and so many floors and things to look out for. A bunch of automatic weapons too, and death traps as well. Also, I think Batman would have to go when the Squid Games are actually occurring because I don't think the front man and all these soldiers are there year round, right? Like I think they're just only there when the Squid Games are happening.
Then what would they
Like
do
they
for a
don't live
living?
there. They're only there for the games. I could be wrong on this. I have no idea, but perhaps Batman
Hmm.
goes there during the games. That's the scenario here. Now, okay, Batman's on the island. How does Batman take down this operation? I mean, Batman is an amazing fighter, but in this scenario, he's by himself. And as we see, there are so many soldiers. I don't know number
Where the
wise, but the
Bat
season
family at?
finale of season 2 showed that there was a ton of them dying by Yi Hun's rebellion, but even after, there was still a ton of soldiers that just kept coming. I think what Batman would do is try to learn more about what's going on inside the actual island first and foremost, and then maybe send proof of the island to the police after he's done taking down the whole operation so that the police can finally believe it, and Batman would also send the coordinates for the location and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
On top of that, I think Batman would like to learn more about the layout of the Squid Game base, as well as what the pink jumpsuit guys do,
I
their
mean, he would
ranks,
need
where the
to.
frontman is, and everything in between. What I think is possible that Batman would do is take down one of the guys in the jumpsuits and take their clothes and gear and blend in as one of the pink jumpsuit guys. Similar to what the detective did in season 1, he would take a day or two to understand everything. Maybe not even a day or two, maybe less than that. And during this time, I can imagine Batman starting to sabotage the area. I'm talking like putting gadgets to mess with the security cameras, place explosive gel around places, place trackers, prep time. Prep time, prep time, prep time. Prep the place for when he takes everyone out in the
Ah,
area.
good old
One thing I
prep
think
time.
could be an issue
Save
or
Batman from
dilemma for
everything.
Batman is timing. The longer Batman takes, the more time people could die if the games keep going on each
True.
day. more people will die because of those games, and Batman has to save as many as he can, right? I don't know if Batman would allow a game to go on and watch people die. I think he would try to stop those games before anything can occur. So because of that, I think Batman would work really fast in setting up his plan
He'd
before
have
a
to.
game could take place so that Batman doesn't have to stop that game. Maybe Batman arrives on the island after the first game, which is red light, green light, or maybe he shows up days before the games even begin. And honestly, Batman would likely show up days before. That way, he doesn't have to worry about the games going on and he can take down the Squid Game operation before it even begins. It can honestly go a lot of ways, like it's all theoretical at the end of the day, right? The timing of when Batman infiltrates the island, like it could be any point. But that is something to take note of, and I could see that as a potential plot point for this kind of storyline. I think possibly at this point, the frontman could be suspicious about Batman. Would he think that the actual Batman is on his tail? Not necessarily, but perhaps
Could.
somebody. But I believe that before the frontman can really deduce that Batman is after him, Batman's already ready to enact his plan. However, if the frontman does find out Batman is onto him, he can definitely set up a trap for Batman. Probably try to kill Batman.
Yeah, but listen, this is Batman we're talking about, okay? He knows what he's doing, or at least he should know what he's doing. But I can see a scenario where they figure out Batman's plan, they try to stop him. But it's Batman, so these guys are just like these guys. They're gonna lose. You know what I mean?
Immediately. The frontman seems like a no talk, just kill a threat kind of villain. He would not talk to Batman, he would just eliminate the threat, so that could be a potential plot point here that could blockade Batman.
Maybe.
But yes, if that's not the case, Batman would just fully enact his plan. And I think this can go a lot of ways. But I think it would be awesome if Batman just went full on brawl mode, full on all out assault and take out all these guards. I think a perfect way of going about it would be him shutting down all the lights, work in the shadows so that they can't see, but Batman can. And he starts picking off soldiers in the shadows while the other guys are freaking out. I can see like they turn the lights back on after some time, but at that point, a lot of them are taken out. I think Batman would start
True.
fighting these soldiers head on, doing Batman things,
They have guns
just
though.
fighting them using
Unless you use
gadgets. Maybe
EMP.
with the prep time, he planted non lethal explosives around. Maybe put knockout gas where they sleep.
Yeah.
All these different ways of taking out chunks of these guys. Because remember, there's a lot of these soldiers. So even though Batman is leagues ahead of them in terms of fighting prowess, they all got guns, man, and there's a lot of them. So I think
EMP.
Batman would do all he can to thin out the herd as best as he can. After taking out these pink
Well,
jumpsuit
they're not
guys,
actually. You
Batman
can't
would
put
also take out all the
EMP.
other possible threats like the second in command guy
Maybe
and
something to
stuff like
disrupt our
that.
guns, maybe,
And after he does that, he goes
or
after the
disable
front
them.
man. Now, him going after the front man could be a really interesting storyline. I think Batman would want to talk to the frontman and ask him why he's doing this and hurting all these people. It could be a really great exchange of dialogue. The frontman could explain to Batman how much money can change people and make them do things they would never do normally, and how
Yeah.
society has failed them, and that what he's doing here isn't really any worse than setting them free since they'll die either way, kind of thing. I
True.
think that's a really unique thing the frontman could have with Batman because Bruce is rich, but his money never corrupted him. But Bruce never came from poverty or had to be in those kind of situations.
Oh
I think
yeah.
Batman would actually understand the frontman's point of view, but also still know that what he's doing is evil and wrong. Could the frontman have some sort of final last resort tactic against Batman?
Maybe.
Yeah, possibly. Maybe some sort of self destruct button on the island. I could see that. Whatever it is, though, I think Batman would survive because it is a superhero generic story, and the theoretical writer would have Batman survive too, I guess. But yeah, let's just say he doesn't have any final plan, and Batman just knocks out and defeats the front man. I think Batman would then send the evidence to the police so they can see and gather all the proof information
But
they
then it'd
need.
be even more
Batman would
corrupt
save all
because
the
it'd be bigger than
contestants,
just
but then
him.
there's the aftermath. There would be
Yeah.
aftermath. I mean, Batman realizes that some of these contestants might also be kind of evil and malicious. They went in debt with some crooks, but there's also innocent people in the mix as well. I think Bruce Wayne would use his wealth and maybe send all these people money unanimously. Like just put it at their front door to cover their costs and maybe set up systems around the South Korea area to help future people that are in this much debt. I think Bruce might have a different perspective on just how much money can put people in dangerous positions after the Squid Game events and might put a bigger emphasis on that for himself. I can also see Batman having potential conversations with people like Gion and tell him he understands how he's feeling about the loss of his friends and tries to give him closure. Not just him though, exposing the Squid Games would also mean that everyone whose loved ones were involved and died are now revealed to have been killed and where they were. Batman may go to some of these people to let them know. And not just that, but those also probably lead to other people involved in the games past frontmans, people who helped build the Squid Game operation on the island, so many people that Batman would likely go after and bring them to justice. It wouldn't be a happy ending, I'd say, with how much the games have ended lives. And for Batman, maybe he would start to have a different perspective on how crazy money and power can get after talking to the frontman. Like, there could be different ideologies that come out of this, and that could be really interesting. But I do believe Batman would stop the Squid Games, give closure to everyone involved, and go after everyone that was involved, so that way the Squid Games are never likely to happen again. But that is how I think it would go if Batman were in the Squid Game universe. Honestly, it might be predictable the way I discussed it, but like, how else would it really go, right? I mean, there
Yeah.
could be different ideas. Like, what if Bruce Wayne entered the games, or what if the frontman knew Batman was on his trail,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's all theoretical at the end of the day. It's hard to make a comic universe and a non-comic
I'm in the way,
universe, and
my
I should
bad,
say
y'all.
make sense sometimes. But I hope you enjoyed my interpretation. Let me know what you think, and if you did, let me know your ideas. Let me know if mine sucked or was good, but also make sure to like the video, share it, follow me on Twitter, and I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe, and peace.
Oh wait, hold on. That could be copyright. Uh, anyways, that was Gotham Paladin, Paladin. Make sure you go subscribe to his channel, or else he'll delete his channel. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, or else I'll delete my channel. You know what I mean? Um, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, this is Zola, and I'm out.